How you doing? This is Coach DeCarlo. I want to tell you about an incident. I was doing my yard the other day, and I was cutting the grass and so forth, and trimming bushes, and getting things done. And after a full day of being out in the yard, I finished up and took a shower and so forth, and didn't notice anything out of the norm. But later on that evening, I noticed that my right foot seemed to have been twisted or something, but there was this very sharp pain that was shooting through my right foot. And so I said, well, I'll give it a day or so and I'll see what happens, tomorrow. And the next day it was actually worse. And so I thought about going to see a doctor, but what I ended up doing was getting in my mind's eye a picture of my foot not hurting anymore. So I basically began to revise the situation from the soreness that I was experiencing in my right foot to not experiencing any soreness at all. So that night I ended up going to sleep, of course, and I woke up the next day and the pain was still there, but it was probably at that point 50% gone. And I continued to revise. Again, still thinking to myself, because I didn't know if I had sprung something or didn't think I broke anything, but I just started wondering if I had sprung something or whatever, unaware. But funny thing was, when I was out in the yard, I didn't notice anything out of the norm. I didn't seem like I had put any strain on my ankle or didn't seem like I had twisted anything. But like I said, this excruciating pain was still shooting through my foot, but it was like probably about 50%. So I still continued to revise the situation. And so after about another day of revising, I went to sleep again, revising the foot not hurting. So I woke up, of course, today, and the pain was going almost down to about 20% now. So instead of 20% no pain and 80% relief. And so I was mindful of how I walked on my ankle today. Again, I'm still revising. And so I was walking down my steps, revising, and I heard this sound, kind of sound like, when you crack your knuckle. It was just a little pop, nothing in particular. And all the pain in my foot was gone. And, I didn't want to, take too many chances, but I did start twisting it and turning it and so forth to see if I could, I don't want to say re-injure it, but I wanted to see if I could, feel the sensation of the pain that I was feeling. And like I said, it was just completely gone. And so it went down to from, 100% pain to 50, then down to like 80% cured. I was still feeling the discomfort, but like I said, it was at a 20% range. So I just begun to see the pain gone, and I really wasn't sure that it would leave today. But like I said, when I was walking down the steps, and the key was I was walking normal as possible, as if I hadn't experienced any pain. So I was just walking down the steps, trying to be mindful of just walking normal and not trying to favor the foot in particular. And like I said, I heard this crack, like I said, much like when you crack your knuckle, and all of a sudden the pain was gone. So I wanted to share that story with you, and I like to call this one, physician, heal thyself. And it says that the subconscious mind is always working. And so what we do is give it the suggestion. And the way that you give your subconscious mind the suggestion is by visualizing, you affirm, you get into a relaxed state. When you're struggling trying to bring about your manifestation, it always takes so much longer. But when you're just operating from the state of, in this case here, being healed and the foot feeling better, I didn't try to force anything. I just saw it as fact of my foot being healed. So like I said, my goal was to walk on it as normal and natural as possible. And like I said, I'm walking down the steps and I hear this snap. And of course, at that point, all the pain is gone. So it goes back to, we have to be mindful of what suggestions we're giving to our subconscious mind. And you do that, of course, at a conscious level. But as you're thinking consciously, think upon your healing And again, I know that sometimes you're dealing with excruciating pain, sometimes you're dealing with discomfort, but you still must begin to see the end in mind. As you begin to visualize, begin to imagine, begin to sense that being real. And as you even affirm, that I'm feeling better and operating from that state of feeling better, what's going to happen is your subconscious mind, when you see it in your mind's eye is already done, it's going to take it as a matter of fact. And so because it is a matter of fact, it's going to go about to see if it can duplicate your healing. And so don't take this for granted. I used to tell myself that a cold lasted me a full week. When I changed my conversation and I would say that a cold lasted me 8 hours, then of course it shortened the duration of my cold. And now within 24 hours, I literally can get rid of a cold if I catch a cold at all, because the truth of the matter is I don't even claim to catch colds now. So often they just bypass me, even though everyone in the house may find themselves feeling ill. So my question to you, creators, no matter what you're going through, watch your inner conversation, get into a relaxed state. Relax. Don't try to struggle against the discomfort. Begin to affirm every day and every way, I'm feeling better and better. Whatever it is that you need to affirm for your healing, find that affirmation that works for you. Also begin to imagine or visualize yourself being healed. See yourself living from a healed state. If you're dealing with a cold, if you're dealing with the flu, imagine what it would be like, how you felt when you didn't have that flu. If you're dealing with, something as a strained ankle, remember or imagine what it would feel like when you didn't have that strained ankle. Whatever it is that you're going through, begin to imagine it as being real now. Reason being is your subconscious mind is going to take that as your picture of reality. Sense, in your five senses, what are you smelling? What are you hearing? What are you tasting? What are you touching as you're feeling that healing sensation? Go into your mind's eye and feel your healing real. We all know what it felt like when we didn't have that thing. Now, if you're someone that's always dealt with that thing, just imagine feeling a little bit better and then continue to improve from there. But always see yourself as the state that you would desire to be. So if it's in a state of healing, if it's a state of abundance, if it's a state of love, find yourself imagining from that state. You say, well, Coach, I've never experienced that state before. Then watch a movie and watch how other people act in that state. Look at your family members. If you have somebody that's operating from the state that you desire, mimic them and imagine what it would feel like being them. Remember this, creators, that only you can create your perfect world. Not God or man. Only you can create your perfect world. This is Coach DeCarlo saying have a great and abundant day.